Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Essential Investments. My name is Santi, and we have today Jonny Chimps from Nobuddies. How are you, Jonny?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited to have you. So it's honestly an honor because I've got to meet Jonny in person. I know that I've uploaded some pictures on my Twitter and some promo content that I got to shoot with Jonny over at NFT NYC.
What's up, man? Got Jonny Chimps here, representing Nobuddies. You know, that's my project, my passion project. We got the game out here, so if you're by, you come by and check it out. Free game on Apple and Android. We are the first NFT from Chronos to be featured on one, so we're very proud of it. We do have a play to earn coming soon, and we are minting on BC's Bay right now, 705 out of 2250. Make sure you get one before our play to earn goes live.
And truth be told, I've been following his project Nobuddies for a while. It's one of the longest running Chronos projects that has graced the Chronos chain so far, and they're legit. It's a legit project. And now what we're talking about is their new launch, which is their Nobuddies Gen 3D. So tell us a little bit about how you got into Nobuddies, or what the idea of Nobuddies or how it came to be, I should say.
Definitely. So kind of the whole way I even got into this space, right? It's I had heard of NFTs and clearly cryptos, man. That's been around for a lot longer than NFTs. And I heard about crypto.com. I was very intrigued by it, and then I started looking into the loaded lines mint. And it was super chaotic. I wasn't even able to mint a loaded line. Like, it was chaos, man. But as soon as that secondary went on, I picked one up, and I was like, all right, well, that was exciting. It was something different. And after I had that, I kind of started feeling this like an urge to do it again, right? So when I go and I start looking into something different, I looked into Chronos and what that's about, and exploring a little bit, and I came across the Chronos Chink Club, and I saw they were minting in November, right? And I was like, all right, well, that's pretty awesome. So I went and I minted my first one, and I got this one with a gold background. So I didn't know at the time that was dope, but I was still like, oh, this is cool. So I minted a couple more, and I joined their community. And it was the first time I even stumbled across Discord and all that. And I really liked the community. I thought it was dope as hell. And everybody was teaching you, whatever you didn't know, people were there to help you. And I loved that about it, because I didn't know anybody, and I didn't really know very much. So what happens is, while I'm in there and I feel this sense of inspiration, I guess you could say, I started wanting to do it myself, create my own project, create my own community. Because like I said, I felt inspired. And the funny thing is, before I even did that, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I told him, hey, listen, I kind of want to do my own NFT project. And he kind of laughed at me. And he said to me, literally, he looked at me, goes, dude, how are you going to make an NFT project? You're just a nobody, right? And I was like, man, fuck you. So whatever. I was like, all right, whatever, man. So I kind of just went back to doing what I was doing. And I ended up playing around my iPad, and this image came to my head. And it's funny because this image, it kind of brings me back to when I was younger. See, when I was younger, I really liked doing graffiti and all that. And it's like I really enjoyed it. And I had this character. It was very similar to what my Nobuddies is. Very simple, but it was my favorite character. And so when I put these two ideas together, and I had that memory, I instantly I grabbed the iPad and I started just playing around with some stuff. And I didn't get it on the first try. It probably took a couple until I was like, whoa, this one speaks to me. Like, this really reminds me of like this old version of myself, like a version of myself that I actually kind of miss, where I was very creative and stuff. And so I was like, you know what, dude, I started playing around with it. I finally figured out kind of how I wanted my character, like the base character, to be. And I sat there and I started thinking, like, okay, now that I have an idea of what my art's going to look like, right, what am I going to name this project? And so I kind of reflected on it a little bit, and I remembered my buddy making fun of me, calling me a nobody. And so I said, all right, you know what, I'm going to embrace it. And I decided to name my project Nobuddies. And along that, I really felt like that's who I am, and that's who I was. And hey, let's be honest, that's who a lot of us are when we get into these spaces. We're just this nobody who's kind of just a little lost. You stumble across communities in Discord or in NFTs or whatever, and you don't know much. And you start asking questions and you start learning a little bit. And that's kind of what my project was all about. It was the fact that you're this nobody in this space, but you make some friends and you could become somebody. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the genesis story behind it. I did start my OG collection with 250. For those that do remember those days, it was back in January when I did my collection, and it was on Agora for 65 Crow. It was insane because it skyrocketed from 65 Crow. I think it hit about 1350 Crow. Like, people went bananas over it, and it was because we were doing all these raffles. People were winning a lot of Crow, and I was having a lot of fun with it, you know, because my whole intentions were never like, oh, I want to like, you know, sell something like a Bored Ape Yacht Club. I was just like, I want to have fun, man. I want to just give back and have fun with the community, and that's kind of how the whole thing started. And once I got that set and I really enjoyed it, I decided, you know what, let me step it up and do a Gen 2, right? And luckily I was able to meet some people throughout this space that kind of like guided me in the right direction, and I was able to do my Gen 2 collection. And which, by the way, brought, as you can tell on my iPad, I have the mobile game, which is the Nobuddies mobile game. And you can actually find it on Apple and on Android. And we're super proud about it because we're actually the first Chronos NFT to be featured in one. And we've had this game for months now, man. I mean, you played it. What did you think about it?
Yeah, so it's a good thing that you mentioned the game, because I was about to mention it. So as you guys see on his iPad, just kind of like the Nobuddies logo is kind of hovering. So that's actually his game. You could download it on Apple Store, on Google Play Store, if I'm not mistaken, as well. You can download it pretty much anywhere, and you can play it straight on your phone. And let me tell you guys, it's an awesome game. It's a Candy Crush style game, and let me tell you, it is a lot of fun. Like when we were at NFT NYC, I was literally just like, you know, just playing with it. And then we even got and it's actually this is something funny that not a lot of people know. So meanwhile we were at NFT NYC, we kind of got a booth. We kind of got like a table and made it our own, like without anybody's permission. We kind of set up all of the Nobody stuff. We put up the iPad, we put stickers all around, and we had people coming up and just, you know, we were passing out stickers. We were talking about the game. People were playing trying out the game, and you know, it was awesome. It was awesome to see first off, to see Chronos representation at NFT NYC at the event. But I actually got to play the game myself. I have it downloaded here. Let me show you guys. So I literally have the game downloaded because it's that much fun. It's honestly like such a good game. Look right here. Oh wait,
I love that beginning screen. I love
hashtag Crow fan. Wait,
yeah,
going invisible. Or whatever. I have the game here, but it's going invisible because of the green screen. But it's honestly awesome. It's exciting to see. It's exciting to see how much Nobuddies has grown, right? And I remember that I wanted to get a Nobuddies when it first came out, but I did not know Agora. The only thing I used to trade before was Ibisu Bay. So I was like, you know, I was kind of new to the NFT scene. So I was like, okay, I heard about Agora, but I've never, you know, I never traded it. So I was like, you know what, let me stick to Ibisu Bay. But I remember seeing you guys when I first got into the scene back in November when the Chrono scene really started. And it's awesome. It's awesome to see how much you've grown. So now, getting back into it. So let's talk into the game, right? So how did the game come into fruition? Did you already know that you wanted to make that kind of style of game, or was it or you know, pretty much how'd you think about the game?
So I was really thinking about like what kind of game would be fun to you know, just like a fun game, really. That's what it was. I didn't want something too intricate, you know what I mean? I just wanted someone to be able to grab, let's say they're nobody, see their nobody on the screen, you know, and be able to play a game seeing their art. You know, I thought that was pretty awesome. And then, you know, I felt like the simplest way to do that was to do a game like a Candy Crush style game. You know, I had other ideas as well, like Angry Birds, Flappy Bird, all those old school games that are just classics, you know, like I really wanted to target that, essentially just classic games. And who doesn't love Candy Crush or hasn't even at least heard of it, you know, like, so that was like, for me, it was an easy choice, you know, to do something like that.
I love it. I love it. And that's actually one of the cool things about the project, right? It's the fact that not only have you guys been here throughout all this time, have been here through the Chronos, have been here through all of the Chronos inception, but it's the fact that you guys continue to build, right? And the fact that you guys are still here day in, day out. And now, we're even here talking about your Gen 3Ds. So now let's talk a little bit about Gen 3Ds. Oh, actually, first let's talk about your transition from Gen 1 to Gen 2, and then we can get into Gen 3D. So what was your thought process from getting from your OGs into your Gen 2s?
Well, so like I said, the OG collection was me trying to figure it out, learning everything from even putting layers to generating them to simple coding. I'm not a coder like that, but I had to learn a little bit to try to do some stuff. But at the end, it came down to something very simple with Agora as well. It was very easy to create a collection in Agora, and for somebody that didn't have this massive amount of knowledge, it was very, very cool. Man, you grab your image, you would upload it, you would fill out the information, and there you go. It was time consuming. I mean, I did 100. It took me probably all night to load 100 nobodies. But wow. When I did that, and then I started doing them 20 at a clip, and it was fun because I would create 20 nobodies, and we would raffle out like 2,000 crow at the end of it. Like whoever picked up one of these 20 nobodies, we would raffle out one random number, they won 2,000 crow, and that's kind of where the hype came from, because I was like, oh, you pick up this nobody. At this point, it went from 65 crow to like 150 crow. I think I was selling them for. But like I said, we were giving back basically everything. And it was fun, dude. And once it got to a point where what exactly happened? So a buddy of mine, Slick, he actually spoke about the nobodies, because believe it or not, a lot of people they enjoyed it from the beginning, even though it was so simple. And Slick had spoke on a space with I forgot, I think it was the Crowbots he was in space with. Anyways, he brought up the nobodies, and Ibisus Bay wasn't there. Don't know who from Ibisus Bay, but they asked him like, oh, where is he, minting his NFTs in? Slick was like, oh, it's on Agora. And they're like, why is it on Agora? It should be on Ibisus Bay. So Slick was like, yeah, put it on Ibisus Bay. I remember I was sleeping at night, but when I woke up in the morning, I had a bunch of messages saying like, you got to contact Ibisus Bay. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And that really, really got me excited, because I saw there's an opportunity that I could go from me doing it individually to being able to do a full collection, Mm-hmm. And in this time, I was able to build so much hype around Nobuddies that I came in contact with a very good friend of mine now. He's my dev, Croswell dev, right? He has his own project, Croswell. And he saw Nobuddies, and he hit me up. He's like, hey, listen, I love what you're doing. If there's ever anything I can help you out with, let me know. And so I was like, definitely, man. So after, once I got the whole thing about Ibisus Bay, I hit up Croswell. I was like, hey, can you help me out with this project? And like I said, the guy's a great guy. So he said, for sure. And that helped me go from, Agora, creating one by one to generating a collection, a full collection. Mm-hmm. And it felt awesome to be able to do that and to learn the process, because this whole thing has been a real big learning process. If you pay attention to Nobuddies, it's like I wrote a Medium article labeled the evolution of Nobuddies, right? And I feel like that not just about my project, but as myself as an individual, and even my team that was created organically, right? I could get into that a little later, but that's kind of what it's been. It's just been an evolution, and it's awesome to see where my OGs were, how I ended up tweaking it for Gen 2, and now coming to Gen 3D, which is something we're very, very excited about.
I love it. I love it. Now, before we get into that, because I want to ask you about your team, but before we get into that, I know that a lot of people are probably wondering the same thing that I was wondering at first. Can you talk a little bit about that Nobody statue you have a little to your right side?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that little guy. So I had a lot of ideas throughout, this whole journey of mine. Like I just said, this whole evolution. And a part of it was me having these type of statues, like the actual physical, nobodies. But this was also essentially the inspiration to why I started thinking of I need to do a collection in 3D. But anyways, the guy that does my stickers, he one day we were having a conversation. And I was like, oh, he had this whole case, and it was a bunch of these statues. I was like, dude, I want one. I want one of those statues. And he was like, yeah, man. So we start conversating. I show him the nobody, right? And I say, can you make this for me? And he's like, definitely, man. So he went to work on it, and I got to physically have one of these. And the moment I went to pick it up and I looked at it, I was like, all right, this is going to be the next space for Nobuddies. It has to be in 3D. I need to bring this to life the way that the statue went. It went from a sticker to this, and I love this little guy. I actually wanted to paint him.
Yeah,
He's
dude, I
so
was
great,
gonna tell you.
which
Yeah.
I think it's cool, but
No, it definitely needs to be painted, dude. That looks awesome. And honestly, it's super. I actually love how cool it looks, man. Like I just keep looking over at it because it's so sick. So now let's actually talk a little bit about the team. So I know the team obviously because I see you guys all over Twitter Spaces. I see you guys everywhere. But a lot of our viewers may not know your team. So how did you meet your team and who's a part of it?
All right. Well, our team is it's a handful of guys. Some people have been with us from the beginning. Some people have kind of, in a way, drifted to do their own things and stuff like that, right? But we've maintained this solid connection. And but basically, the way I came across my team, just like I said with Krosnodev, right? He noticed me. He reached out, and like from that, I built a connection. And that's how it was with, like I said, a lot of my team members, where I jumped to other projects and other Discords or whatever it may have been, I would come across individuals and they would, I would have this dope connection with them. They'd find out that I had this Nobuddies collection on Agora, and they're like, oh, cool, I'm going to go mint one of these guys. And then they would mint, and they would be these, they would join my Discord, and they had this passion over it, that I really, really loved. I loved seeing, oh man, people are really embracing the nobody, putting it as a PFP, which, by the way, man, that's such an honor for a project. There could be these massive amount of like these real big projects, I'm saying, and you have like thousands of people rocking their PFPs, like that's cool, but like me being this nobody that I am, to be able to see somebody grab my nobody and put it as their PFP, it feels great, dude. It really feels like, oh man, like so somebody else feels that like this
appreciation.
Yeah, exactly. They feel the same sense of appreciation as I did, and that's pretty awesome, man. So that's kind of how that worked. But yeah, we have my team right now. It goes Krosnodev is my main dev. We got Tiki. For those that don't know him, he's been in the spaces. He does my stuff on like when it comes to that spaces. People who do know me know that I'm not a big person on spaces. I don't know what it is. I could do videos. I could do in person. I'm like a very big social butterfly in that sense. But in spaces, I kind of like just freeze up. But Tiki's really good for that, man. He just does his thing, man. I really appreciate him. UMC as well, another good buddy of mine. He's on the team. He's been with me for a while. We got Rio, Reincarnation Street as well. Who else is on there with us? Stetter. He's more of a more recent member of our team, but we love having him with us. The guy's a genius when it comes to content creation, and he's been doing stuff for us for a while now as well. As a community member, and it got to the point where it's like, dude, just come and join us. Yeah, for I have a good buddy of mine, Tommy. He's actually a part of the team as well, and he's been there with me from the beginning. He was the first, I want to say one of the first that kind of looked at me and said, Johnny, you're onto something, dude. I want to like help you out any way that I can, and he's been with me. So it's dope as hell to see that, and that's how I feel about everybody in the team. They've all been with me from the beginning, and they're just as passionate about this project as I am. And I love all of them, dude. They're all great people, and I appreciate the hell out of them. Being perfectly honest, man.
I love it.
And like I tell them all the time, bro. I tell them they're more like family to me than like, you know, I say team, but in our chat, I tell them you guys are family, man. I spend a lot more time talking to them about anything. You know, sometimes our conversations even drift from just the project to just like, yo, what's going on? Like, everything
Yeah.
okay? Like, how's, you know what I mean? How's the family? Like, it becomes more personal. And I think
Mhm.
that's kind of what's helped us be a tighter team, especially with this whole bear market and this crazy dump that happened with. I don't even want to get into all that, but people got kind of hurt, man. You know,
Mhm.
but we stuck it through, man, and we're still together. So that's us, man. A bunch of nobodies clicking together.
I love it. I love it. And now, so let's go into how is Nobody's look, right? So let's go into his Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3s. And let me screen share. Okay. So this is his OG. This is OG line. I honestly, I'm just in love with it. It kind of reminds me of an emoji and like a gumball kind of Pac-Man style. So I kind of loved it, man. I loved the design as soon as it came out. So this is his Gen 1s that they're live on the Ibisu Bay. If anybody wants to go and pick them up. Wow, there's actually not. Wow, what's the floor on this? It must be high. There's not many.
Like 800, I think, 700, something like that.
What?
800.
Wow, the floor is high. That's awesome.
Yeah, right before the snapshot, I think we peaked at like almost 1,000.
Wow. And then so that's his Gen 1, and this is his Gen 2s.
So when it came to the artwork of OG to Gen 2, I added a lot more traits to Gen 2, different color eyes, like really nice, kind of like the eyes would pop out a lot more. I tweaked the traits out a lot better because, like I said, on the OG, I still wasn't, you know, I was still learning, you
Oh,
know, but Gen 2, I really learned a lot more on the layers and just lining everything up a little bit better. So if you look at them, the art did get tweaked up with the addition of new traits, man, you know?
wow, I love it. Wow, dude, these are sick. And there's not many on the floor, so that means a lot of people are holding it, right? Which is really solid. Let's see.
Yeah.
Gen 2s.
Yeah, I love the community, man.
Yeah,
They're some great people, man.
there's only 33 active listings. So wow, that's exciting. So now I'm excited to show a sneak peek, an exclusive sneak peek into the Gen 3D line. And I can't say that I'm honored that I was talking to Jonny yesterday and he was like, hey Sant, you know what? Like, let me hook you up with the custom PFP for the Gen 3Ds. And I was like, dude, please, let's do it. So I'm in love with it. So I actually tweeted it out. It's on my Twitter. And as you can see, dude, like the not in a bad way, but the difference between this one and the 3Ds is huge. Like, not obviously this one's beautiful, but the 3Ds, dude, wow. Like dude, like I'm literally like in love. Like I the reflection off of the eyes, the Chronos background, the bucket hat, the bow tie, like dude, like I fell in love. And it's my wife's birthday today, so then Jonny actually even made my wife one, which I will share with you guys. Here you go. Oh, actually, I'd be this. There you go. Oh, zoom out. Oh wait, it's super zoomed in. Okay, don't know why it's super zoomed in, but as you guys can see, it's the diamond crown, a sick background, and then it has the diamond teeth. I love this one. It's I just love the fact you can see reflections inside of the eyes, like the detail, the attention to detail is so amazing in this 3D line. And I was telling Jonny, like, dude, like I can't wait for this line to drop. I want to ape in because it's just, I love the artwork because that's one of the biggest things about me, right? Because some people are after profit and NFTs, some people. So this is how I always look at it. There's three kinds of people. When it comes to NFT trading, there's the people who look at art, the people who look at utility, and the people who look for like a quick flip, like a quick, I call them scalpers because they come in and they sell, right? And truthfully, this hits this definitely hits that art feeling for me. Like I like, for me, like, obviously I have a strong feeling that the price is gonna go up when they're done minting. But even if the price never left $1, I don't think I'd ever sell it, because it's just, I love the artwork. You know, I think that's the thing that attracts me the most when it comes to the Nobuddies. Like, the artwork is truly amazing for the 3Ds. And Jonny actually showed me, sent me a sneak peek into the Nobuddies. Here you go.
I also sent you something else just now. Like, not that many people have seen what I just sent you either.
Oh, let's see. Okay, so I hate that it's so zoomed in. Let me, is there a way to zoom out? Um, all right. All right, let's try this again. Hold up. Okay. So okay, it won't let me zoom out, but just okay. So look, so this is the Nobuddies like branding, as you can see, and then let's go down. Look at these 3Ds. Look at the detail on the hat, man. What? Like, do you see this, guys? Like, the absolute detail. I'm in love. So I'm very excited for the 3Ds. I'm super excited. And actually, let's talk a little bit about the 3Ds. Like, when do they come out? And I know that you have a Nobu token or a Nobu NFT. And, you know, can you tell the viewers a little bit about us while we're closing up?
Sure. So right now we're currently minting our Nobu NFT. Our Nobu NFT is going to be the stakeable NFT for Nobu coin. It's going to be on a tier level staking. So our OGs have been dropped a diamond Nobu NFT, right? And then we have currently minting gold, silver, and bronze. The mint price is 99 Crow. But the awesome thing about it is that when you hold one of these Nobu NFTs in your wallet and you go mint to Gen 3D, it's going to actually save you 100 Crow off of that mint. So you spend 99 on a Nobu NFT, but you're going to get it right back when you mint Gen 3D. You know, it's a nice way basically for you to get both for the price of one. Just take advantage while they last, you know. On top of that, like, as you can tell with the Nobu NFT, instantly you're getting a discount on the mints, but we have a lot of other utilities that are going to come down, you know, down the road. We tell you what we want you to know right now, but we have a lot of ideas. And if there's something that people should see about us, you know, being here since January, so we're constantly trying to improve, we're constantly trying to build and grow, and we're here for the long term, you know. So trust me, we have a lot of ideas with Nobu NFT. And you stick around and you'll find out, you know. And with the Gen 3D, we're planning on minting. We're aiming soft date tomorrow on Saturday, which is the 20th. But for sure, it's going to be this weekend, you know, whether it's going to land Saturday night, you know, or Sunday morning. Between me and my dev, we're spread across like about 6-7 hours. So, you know, that could kind of take a play in the actual time of mint. But yeah, we're going to mint that collection is going to be a collection of 3333 Gen 3Ds, you know. And if you held a Gen 2 when we took our snapshot, you are going to receive a 1-to-1 airdrop. So it's another pretty dope thing, man.
Oh, that's good, actually. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So because I hold the Gen 2, so that's actually kind of awesome. All right, man, I'm super excited. Now, do you have anything else you want to leave off with our viewers? Oh, actually, before I forget, so I will be linking all of Jonny's links and all of the Nobuddies links down in the description below. If you guys do like Jonny, do like the project, make sure to check it out. But before we end off, do you have anything you want to leave off with our viewers?
Man, look, what can I say? Look, I love this community, not just my Nobuddies community, but, you know, Crow fam in general. You know, I love being here since day one, like I told you guys, and I'm looking forward to the future. And I'm here to continue to grow, man. You know, I see a future here on Chronos, and I definitely want to be a part of that future. You know, so trust me, believe in me, and I'm gonna keep on working, man. That's kind of what it is. Basically, just trust this nobody. You know what I mean? And I just want to give a big shout out again one more time to all my team members. You know, you guys are all awesome, man. You guys have been with me for months, And I really, really appreciate all of you guys. Every single one of you guys. I want you guys to know that. The community holders, man, the OGs that have been with me from Agora, they even the ones that picked up afterwards. You know, it's just thank you so much for everybody that's taken the time to, whether they minted a nobody or whether they picked up on secondary, or whether they're just scoping around in the Discord now. We've had a lot of new people showing up recently. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for taking the time to come and check me out, man, me and my project. And we're looking forward to the future, man, you know? So that's about it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Jonny, for coming on today's episode of Essential Investments. And honestly, it's an honor, and I'm excited to see. The launch. I'm excited to see the 3Ds. I got my Nobu token today for the 100 Crow. Got a couple of them, so I don't know. I'm ready for tomorrow. I'm honestly very, very excited. I wanted to thank you once again from the bottom of my heart for coming onto the show. I know it was last minute. We were just texting today. I'm like, hey, you want to come on? He's like, yeah, let's do it. So I wanted to give you a huge thanks for that. And guys, make sure if you guys do like this kind of content, if you guys did like this podcast, do want to see me interview other people, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next episode of Essential Investments.